that unit. So for me, I find this much easier as an online student. So you can see all of your teaching staff and contacts, any assessments that are required for that trimester, the resources, so any textbooks, recordings, things like that are all in there. Then you have your week 1 to 10, and generally most units will have a revision unit before your exam week. The best part is these below, which is your lecture videos and recordings. So this is really great if perhaps you felt a bit sleepy in class, or you've missed class, or the internet has cut out, or something has gone wrong, or perhaps you just wish to watch it again before an exam, which is what I used to do all the time. You can find all of the recordings that you watch over. Each week will give you a breakdown of activities before class, activities during class, and activities after class. And with that, you'll be able to click on the readings, and they will open in a new video with, in a new window, whether they be a video or a reading that you're required to do. So online is all mapped out for you, really nice and easy to follow. And today, Shanal will be able to give you a taste of what an online class is like. So I am going to pass over to him. If you do wish to take a screenshot at the moment, please follow us. We've got Facebook and Instagram there, and I will put in the chat my email. So if you wish to contact me directly with any questions, you can also do so. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. Sorry, because this is my turn, but I let you talk first because my computer was crashing that time. So for now, I'm going to speak in Vietnamese so that the student can get the idea faster. Sorry everyone. Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Hello mọi người. Rất vui vì được thấy những cái màn hình được mở lên. Rất là nhiều bạn đẹp trai đẹp gái đang có mặt ở trong đây ngày hôm nay. Thì đáng lẽ phần của chị là phần đầu tiên, nhưng mà khi nãy thì mọi người tham gia vào á, nên là cái mạng của chị nó quá chậm, chị không thể share được với mọi người. Nên là bây giờ chị sẽ giới thiệu thật nhanh và ngắn gọn về VNTalent, là đơn vị tổ chức cùng với lại Deakin University và Deakin College chương trình ngày hôm nay. Rồi, mọi người khi nào thấy được màn hình thì cho Nhung biết nha. Rồi, ok. Đầu tiên thì ở trong phần, sorry mọi người là thứ tự nó có hơi đảo xíu ở phần số 1 và số 2. Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đi vào phần giới thiệu về VNTalent. Rồi, thì VNTalent là một công ty tư vấn du học và hướng nghiệp hiện tại đang nằm ở khu vực là thành phố Hồ Chí Minh và quận 3. Thì để thực hiện ở trong công tác này thì VNTalent có đầy đủ 3 loại giấy phép để mà mọi người có thể an tâm khi chọn VNTalent. Nếu như mà bạn nào muốn follow những cái thông tin về các lớp học thì có thể là tham khảo website hoặc là Facebook, hoặc là liên hệ qua email của VNTalent. Và đối với lại VNTalent làm gì thì như hồi nãy Nhung cũng có nói, VNTalent là một công ty hướng nghiệp. Hướng nghiệp nghĩa là khi mà các bạn chưa biết rằng là tính cách của mình như thế nào, phù hợp với ngành nghề ra làm sao và cái tiềm năng của ngành đó như thế nào, thì VNTalent sẽ tư vấn cho các bạn từ tính cách, ngành nghề và tiềm năng của ngành. Ngoài ra thì VNTalent còn là một công ty tư vấn du học, nghĩa là khi mà các bạn muốn sang một nước khác, ví dụ như Canada, Anh, Mỹ, Úc để học tại đó, thì VNTalent sẽ là đơn vị tư vấn hồ sơ nè, rồi chọn trường, xin học bổng cho các bạn, hỗ trợ xin visa. Thì ở trên màn hình là một số thông tin rất là tóm tắt của các dịch vụ VNTalent cung cấp. Và để làm được điều đó thì hiện nay VNTalent có hơn 700 đối tác. Mọi người có thể xem thêm các thông tin về các trường ở các nước khác nhau tại website của VNTalent. Và trên màn hình thì là một số cái visa mà VNTalent đã làm thành công rồi. Hy vọng là trong thời gian tới sẽ update visa của các bạn ở trên màn hình này nữa nha. Rồi, ngoài ra thì VNTalent còn tổ chức các chương trình thực tập thực tế tại các nước, ví dụ như là Malaysia hoặc là Trung Quốc, Cambodia và Thái Lan. Hy vọng rằng là sau đại dịch Covid này thì VNTalent sẽ được gặp các bạn trong các chương trình thực tập và thực tế tiếp theo. Đó, thì minh họa là một số chương trình mà các anh chị đi trước đã tham gia đi thực tập thực tế. Tiếp theo đó là ngoài ra thì kết thúc chương trình ngày hôm nay, nếu như mà bạn nào cảm thấy rất là hứng thú với trường Deakin College thì đừng ngần ngại, hãy liên hệ với lại VNTalent để tụi mình có thể sắp xếp những cái buổi tư vấn 1-1 giữa các bạn với đại diện trường, để các bạn có thể tìm hiểu thêm về ngành nè, về trường và về các cái học bổng mà hiện tại trường đang có. Và ngày hôm nay, quan trọng nhất là các bạn hãy chú ý lắng nghe phần bài giảng của thầy Shanal và tham gia cái phần Q&A của thầy để từ đó nhận được những cái phần quà rất là hấp dẫn từ trường Deakin. Rồi, vậy thì là kết thúc cái phần giới thiệu của công ty VNTalent. Nếu như mọi người cần thêm thông tin gì thì cứ liên hệ với VNTalent sau lớp học ngày hôm nay. Okay, so that's all for my presentations. It's short and fast, so I'm passing this to Mr. Shannon. Oh, sorry.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Kadi.
Oh.
I'll share my screen in a second, but just before we get started, I'll introduce myself. So my name is Shanal. I'm the academic coordinator of the foundation program here at Deakin College. So as Danielle mentioned, the program that I coordinate is the year 12 equivalent program. So if any of you are, for example, in year 11, going into year 12, you could possibly come and do the foundation program and go straight into first year at DeakinUniversity. I also actually grew up in Vietnam. I spent 13 years in Vietnam, and I came to Australia in 2010 after finishing high school to start my studies. I studied at Monash, not at Deakin, but I did my master's and did units at Deakin as well. So I have some experience being, a long time. I have some experience being a university student, an international university student in Australia. So I can definitely understand where you guys are coming from. I remember being in that situation as well. So yeah, hopefully, we'll give you a bit of a demonstration class today. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. There'll be some time at the end of the session where you can ask any questions you might have. All right. Okay, I'll get started. I'll share my screen. Okay, can you see the screen okay? Yep, cool. All right, so welcome to this demo class. It's on the topic of marketing. So this is one of the units that we offer in the foundation program. And I'm just going to go through a topic that we covered just last week, actually, in week 6. And it's called new product development. So it's all about new products. All right. So I might have to cut the lesson a little bit short because I'm just conscious that, we've got a limited time that we've set, but that's okay. It's not a big problem. We'll go through a bit of a discussion as a group. And then after that, I'll go through some information just to give you a simulation. It's nothing serious. Don't worry. Don't freak out. You don't have to take notes. But we will have a little bit of a quiz at the end. So, and I think Kadi has mentioned that there's some rewards for the students who do well in the quiz. So, there might be an opportunity for you to win something if you're paying attention. And then, of course, at the end, we'll have a Q&A. If at any point you can't hear me or anything like that, please pop it into the chat. I've got the chat open as well. Or if I'm speaking too fast, just let me know. I can slow down as well. All right. So I'm going to put you guys into groups, and I'm also going to put some of the other staff members here into groups, into your groups. So hopefully you can help facilitate some of the discussion. But what we're going to do is have a discussion in groups and come up with 5 new products that you think came out in the last 12 months, okay? There's been a lot of new innovations and new products that have come out as a result of COVID. So maybe you can use that as some inspiration. But I want you to come up with 10 new products that you think as a group. Sorry, I'm getting a bit confused. 5 new products that you think as a group came out in the last 12 months, okay? So you're going to get a pop-up in a couple of seconds. There we go. And you'll need to click accept, and you'll go into a small breakout room. I'll give you guys 5 minutes, and then we'll meet back together. All right.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. So have you think about the 5 new things in this recently invented? Any idea for 5 new things?
I think that this app Zoom is not just invented last year because due to the COVID-19.
The Zoom? Okay, that is wonderful. But let me check that one. I didn't know that when was the Zoom were established, but that's a wonderful idea. That's great. Is there any other idea? Anything that you think that would be invented in 2019? Oh, last year, that will be 2020, sorry. Any applications, any products that you can think of? Is there anything new that you use?
What about in Vietnam? We have a rice ATM for the poor. Yeah.
Sorry, you mean
When the ATM, they put the rice in it instead of the money.
That is also the wonderful idea, right? So let's discuss together. I'm going to join other breakout rooms. So still work together, okay? Okay, everyone.
Okay.
Don't be shy. We are all friends together.
Hi.
Hi, Kate. I hear someone asking for help from this room. Is there anything that I can help you? Have you think about any 5 new products that invented in 2020?
I think Apple released a keyboard for
You mean the app Zoom, this one we are using?
no Apple, the brand. They released a new keyboard for the iPad Pro.
The keyboard for iPad. Okay, that is a wonderful one. Is there any new phone or new application?
Apple released an Apple iPhone SE, a new kind of Apple iPhone.
Oh, there's many Apple fan here. Many Apple fan. Is there any other fan here? Samsung fan? Yes, please.
Electric.
Sorry, could you please say again?
I think new product recently a bicycle electric. It's very useful to go to school.
That's great. Okay. Keep discussing together, right? We are all friends, so discussing with each other. Okay, I will go to another breakout rooms. Okay, bye.
It doesn't always have to be something shiny or fancy. It doesn't have to be like a new phone or a new computer or something like that. It can also be things like a new drink, like a new energy drink.
Hello, everyone. Did I enter this room visibly? Okay, so did you guys discuss what is a new thing that is invented? Did you discuss?
We thought about 3 items only.
Sorry, could you please say it again? My internet connection is slow.
We thought about 3 items. So
3
not
items. That's great. What are they?
Face shield, virus installation booth, and disinfection booth.
So the COVID-19 vaccine is also a new product, which is invented, right? Okay. Oh, Shannon.
Yes, I'm following you. I'm sorry. I'll jump into a different classroom.
No, continue your job. I will move to another room.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay.
Thank you for the idea.
Oh, you've got.
Hello, everyone. Did I enter this room visibly? Hello, Tom. Why you're so quiet? Why you all so quiet? We are friends. Talk with each other, please.
Okay, but what you want me supposed to talk?
Oh, we are discussing about the 5 new products in 2020. Have you guys all come up with the ideas?
Definitely the iPhone 12.
Oh, the iPhone 12. What else?
Toy for children.
So what is that for? What is this you for?
Well, for the children, for their playing purpose, I suppose.
What else?
And yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. This is household storage containers. It's like similar like the shoe rack.
What is used?
Something like shoe rack. You know. Okay.
Could you please type this one for me? We only have 58 seconds and then we will back to the main room.
Okay, no, sorry.
Okay, I really like you, Tom. You are really confident. I love you guys.
Em xin lỗi chị chứ tên em là Quân cơ, vậy Tùng thôi.
Vũ Tùng Quân. Okay, your name is Quân, right? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, everyone, back to the main room, please. Leave the breakout room, please. Thank you so much.
4 seconds. Let me see how many people are still in the breakout rooms.
You're back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think we've got a few students still in there. Yeah, a few students in room 6.
Can we close it and then get
Yeah,
back
I have. So it'll automatically close, so it should be fine. They should be coming back soon. Yeah. I think, let's see. I think they're all closed, so they should be back now. Yes, yes, Trent.
I have a very good question for you, Shanal. Is vaccine a product?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
It's a product. You know, but the people who buy the vaccine might not be you and I. It depends. In some countries, you might have to pay for your vaccine. In most countries, I don't think you do. So the people buying the vaccine would be the government, but they're still a customer, right? So yeah, so definitely a new product.
You stole our idea.
Yeah, it was a popular one.
Yeah, it's a popular now.
Okay, so let's see some examples. So we've had vaccine. Can any students just feel free to put your hand up or yell out? You can unmute yourself and answer. Give us some good examples that maybe you came up with in your group. Anything you want to share of what you think is a new product that came out in the last 12 months?
I have some ideas want to share. So actually, our group came out with a lot, and then it's very hard to decide which one to share. But in the pandemic situation, we came up with one of the Vietnamese app, which is called On Mic. So basically, it's like a live podcast type of app that you can go on and listen to people speaking about certain topic. And then the second product we have British Hunter Stretch Shoes. I don't know what. Do you guys want to? One of my teammates.
Somebody else can maybe explain that. That's fine.
Because that's not my idea. Anyone want to explain?
Yeah, actually, it's the product of shoe brand in Vietnam, and I think it's BTS is a really popular fashion brand in Vietnam because everybody know about it. And I think BTS have a marvelous marketing campaign about that shoe. It's called BTS Hunter Twist shoe, which combine with modern cultures and also hip hop cultures, and so we can find the informations and also the advertising on the internet and YouTube to like know about it. I really
awesome. Very cool. I remember having a pair of BTS like Velcro shoes when I was like 8 or 9, but I'm sure the Hunter shoes are very cool. All right. I think there's another student with their hand up. Quinn Tran, do you want to go for it?
Our team has like come up with an idea of a new app on our mobile phone. It's like a kind of electrical house block. Like we can, with this app, we can provide our personal information, and we also can schedule our time to like get the vaccine, you know, due to the COVID-19, not only Vietnam, but also like all the nations were seriously affected. And like we have to focus mostly on our health, and that app like doesn't have the English name. It has the Vietnamese name sổ sức khỏe điện tử, and we translate into English like electrical house block.
Is this an app that already currently exists?
Yes.
Cool. Sounds awesome. Very cool. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. And I think there's one other student,
So due to COVID, we think about virus isolation booth. So it's basically a booth when the doctor will be inside and do the COVID test to the patients. Yeah, so it's a really popular practice around the world too.
Awesome. Great examples. Yes, and I think COVID's definitely brought us more examples of new products. You know, you guys are going to be fine if any of you go and study marketing. I'm sure you'll have lots of examples to use. Sometimes, you know, it's good to get different examples other than, I mean, everyone uses it because it's an easy one, but usually the answers are like, oh, the new iPhone. So I'm sure you came up with those examples too, but it's good to get some different examples. So well done. Well done to all the groups. All right, so I'll go through a little bit of information, but I'll kind of breeze through this because, like I said, it's not maybe your area of study or anything like that. This is more just to give you an idea of how classes run. So in all of the classes that we do at Deakin College, we use a variety of different teaching tools. So we call it pedagogies, things like breakout rooms, things like group discussions, things like collaborative whiteboards. So today, for example, I had a class earlier today where we did a brainstorm online together, and students were basically putting in videos and their own kind of resources in. But in every class, there's a little bit of content delivery, which is usually done in the form of a lecture or in the form of like a short information session. So this is an example of that, okay? So what is a new product? The term new product, we normally think of as something that is new to the world, which is an invention or something that hasn't existed before. So as you know, you've provided some examples of things that are new to Vietnam. This was a product that came out last year, towards the end of last year, which is new to Australia. And it was basically a fine dining food delivery, but it's not really food that you can eat straight away. You get all of the, I guess, parts that's 80% completed, and you finish the food at home. So you can basically have a fine dining meal at home. And that came out last year. It was called Providor. We also have things that we call new category or brand entries. So this is where a company already exists and they start creating a new type of product. So for example, we talked about this in some of the other groups that I went into. Companies like Adidas, Nike, and I think even Louis Vuitton, for example, started making face masks because they saw that as an opportunity. It's something that, you know, everyone started using. So that took them into a new category, a new type of product. Product improvements and modifications. So this is a very common or popular one. We get companies that create, new versions of existing products. So for example, you have the new version of a PlayStation or the new version of an Xbox. This is quite a common kind of thing. Car manufacturers do this all the time when they come up with the new version of their existing car. And then you also get the terminology can change depending on the textbook, but the one we use, they call it variations of all of the above. So products that have new packaging can be considered as a new product. Repositioning, it's maybe a bit complex to explain in this session, but maybe changing the use of a product or how it's perceived by people. It's also can be an example of a new product. Okay. How can companies create or have new products? One is through acquisition. So acquisition means to own, right? To acquire. So company can acquire other companies or existing businesses, and that could be a new product for them. So for example, all of these apps are owned by Facebook. So they can be new products for Facebook. And so they might go and find a new up and coming product or app, and they might buy or ownership of that app. Okay. And then the other one, which is I think what people normally think about, like you and I normally think about as a new product, is through internal new product development process, where the company starts a process, they think of a new idea, they test the idea, and they develop the new products, and then it slowly comes to us to use. Okay. All right. This is important, I guess. So a company cannot rely solely on its existing products. Companies have to innovate. They have to come up with new ideas. Constant changes in the macro and micro environment. So this is a week 2 topic. We'll go back to that as well, just to give you an example of how everything links together. We also look at, for example, in marketing, consumer behavior in week 4. So consumers' tastes can change rapidly, and they want and expect new and improved products all the time. And then there's also lots of competition that we're seeing, which is an example with the vaccines. There's a lot of competition in relation to vaccines, and you need to innovate, because if you don't innovate, unfortunately, you turn into Kodak. Does anyone remember Kodak? Maybe you guys are too young to remember Kodak. So if you can remember, or maybe your parents have a manual camera, like a film reel. Kodak used to be absolutely everywhere. I remember when I was in Ho Chi Minh City, for example, on Le Tan Ton Street, there was heaps of shops that had Kodak, photo development. I'm not sure if those shops are still there, because a lot of these kinds of products no longer exist in as much, as frequently or as commonly as they used to. Okay, not all new products succeed. All right, some new products seem like great ideas, right? It's raining, I want to wear a hat, and I don't want to have to wear a raincoat. I need my umbrella and a hat together. Perfect. This used to exist. It no longer exists. Nobody really wears them. I'm sure you can still buy them for kids, but it's not commonly accessible, or you can't find it very easily, right? Another example of a company that's, I guess, tried maybe some co-branding or product development that didn't work out was Colgate, who makes toothpaste, and some sort of frozen pizza, which is pretty disgusting. So pretty obvious that wouldn't work out, but I guess they had to try it, right? A more interesting one is, I think, Google Glasses. The idea was really popular. I remember it being something that everyone thought would be normal, or like, I think it was like 2008 or 9, everyone was saying, everyone's going to have Google Glasses. You can like see everything on your glasses and navigate and all these kinds of things. That didn't come to fruition because there were some issues with things like piracy or I guess user information, or lots of other things that kind of got in the way of that product. and not all new products succeed. So some of the reasons for failure include things like not the product that's new or created is not different to the existing products. It doesn't deliver on the promises. Maybe they overestimated the demand for it. I'm sure there are many examples of COVID-related businesses that overestimated the demand and it didn't quite work out. And then the other one is poor positioning or poor marketing research and execution. The example I have here is Starbucks. In Australia, it's famously known for failing because I guess they didn't really read the coffee culture, especially in places like Melbourne. Coffee is very, very popular in Melbourne. We all drink a lot of coffee and people go to their favorite cafes. So when Starbucks came to Melbourne, people were kind of like, I don't really know if I want to go to that. I already get good coffee near my house. So they kind of disappeared for a little bit. And then they came back in the last couple of years because they focused specifically on places where there were a lot of tourists and a lot of international visitors. Okay, so now we have a bit of a quiz. So what I'll do is I will move this up here. So the instructions will be on the screen in a minute, all right? But has anyone here played a Kahoot before?
Yeah.
Anyone played a Kahoot quiz before? Yeah, okay, perfect. So if you played a Kahoot quiz, that's good. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to go to this website, www.kahoot.it, all right? Or you can download the Kahoot app, it's up to you. And you'll need to enter this PIN number and your name or nickname to enter the game. I'll just share my audio as well.
Mr. Shanal,
Yes.
may I ask like a question about Starbucks?
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm thinking if Australia, I've never been to Australia, but I'm really interested in understanding how Starbucks not fail in Vietnam, but fail in Australia. Because in Vietnam, like, from your experience, you may know that Vietnam has a coffee culture as well. So people drink a lot of coffee as well. But then Starbucks is not really failing here, but it's earning its position as a luxury drinks.
Sure.
So yeah,
I think that's understandable. But in Vietnam, I guess the only like competitors to Starbucks were places like Chương Coffee.
Yeah.
And there was another one that was like Highlands, yeah, exactly. And that was like the main competitors, right? And there was already kind of a category for that. Even things like Gloria Jeans was popular in Vietnam, I guess, you know, and those kinds of coffee shops were not the kinds of coffee shops that are popular in Melbourne, for example. So not many people go to, I guess, a Gloria Jeans for coffee. People more likely go to a small cafe and get takeaway coffee. So that luxury kind of like sweet drinks maybe wasn't something that people wanted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit different. So and it's also a thing of like, I guess, trying to understand different countries, demographics, and people's preferences or maybe culture. So.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay. If you do eventually get to come to Australia, you'll probably see that there's a lot of things that are different. We don't actually have, for example, we don't have Burger King. We have something called Hungry Jack's, which is exactly the same as Burger King, which is a bit weird, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, so there's a lot of really interesting things actually culturally. Okay, we've got 63. We might get started if that's okay. Just because there's a few, we've got about 82 students in here. So we might get started. I think you should be able to join as it goes as well. So it's kind of increasing and dropping. I can see it going up and down from 66 to 64. So we'll get started. And then you can still join if you have to as well. All right. I might just join as well to see if it's working well. All right, let's go. So question 1, what type of new product is Providore? If you can remember that.
For the past 9 weeks, the kitchen at Estelle in Northcote has been bubbling away despite not having any diners. Scott Pickett started offering take-home meals to get through the shutdown period.
Food that's available in the restaurant.
You got 10 seconds.
Serve and be a chef in your own kitchen at home.
The gourmet delights have been available to pick up. But from Monday, they can be delivered through a new platform called Providore, a concept from Maharashtra.
Ooh, okay. So some people got that. 11 people got that correct. There's a bit of a mix with new category entrants and product improvements. Good try, and variations of the existing product. That's actually not a bad guess as well. New category brand entries is also not a bad guess. It's pretty good. Yes. All right. So Chow's in first place, Fung's in second place, Tui, Antu, and Hungbin. So when Mercedes-Benz, the car company, first released their line of fragrances, so perfume and cologne, what do you think this could be called? Got about 7 seconds. Gotta be quick. All right. Oh, most people got that. Well done. So obviously it's a car company creating fragrances. Fragrances already exist, but for them, that wasn't something that existed for them. So it's a new category of brand entry. Good job. Chow's in the Fung's still in the lead. Tui Wung's in second place and Bin's in third place. Got 3 more questions. So Knorr, the company that makes soup, redesigning their packaging for existing products in order to make them more convenient for consumers to use. What do you think that is? Got 10 seconds. Okay, that was a good one. So that's tricky. I agree. Product improvement and modifications is a very, very, very good guess. But the product already exists. They didn't make it a new version of the soup. They kind of just changed the packaging. So that's a variation to the existing product so that the packaging was easier for people to access. So this is going to be interesting. Only 9 people got this right. Let's see what happens to the leaderboard. Whoa, it's a bit different there. So from behind, Pham Quinnan comes into first place. Min Nguyen's in second place. Ellie, Lin, and Chow hanging in there. All right. There's a couple more questions, you guys. This is an easy one. True or false? Facebook buying Oculus in order to move into VR gaming is an example of new product through acquisition.
Many of you are aware that we just found out that Oculus Rift, the Oculus VR company, has been acquired by Facebook for $2 billion. There have been a lot of talk that they would be acquired, or something I fully expected. Facebook was not the company that ever registered on my radar.
No, and you know, it's kind of interesting. We were talking about this earlier when it first.
Ooh, I might have made this question a bit too long. There's 30 seconds. There's quite a bit of time left on this one.
In my opinion, trying to be Google.
And we've got
Their interests and looking at Oculus not as a gaming peripheral, but as something that can be used possibly medicinally, you know, in medical procedures, or even as
on a retail level. Say like you're a realtor and you want to show off a potential home to some buyers. There's a lot there. I think we all saw these.
Has anyone tried the Oculus VR sets? No, they're really cool. They're really, really cool. There was like a place where in Melbourne you could test it out because they were demoing it, and that's true. So look, in the video, the guys actually said Facebook's acquisition of, or Facebook acquiring Oculus. So that was a bit of a hint. Well, Mi's in the lead. Ellie's second place, Chow, Feng, and Lin. Last question. Anything can happen. Here we go. I think the first three people get a prize, so let's see what happens. Starbucks failing to successfully introduce their products in Australia was because, let's see if you've been paying attention.
Fall in love with it. The coffee giant still has stores in 63 countries, leaving very few nations Frappuccino free. There's more than 11,500 stores across the US alone, and they're rapidly growing in Canada and China. But struggling to survive in Australia, Starbucks have closed 60-odd shops, leaving its current stable of just 22. Paul Patterson is a marketing guru that spent years studying the demise of Starbucks.
I think we've got a lot to thank Starbucks for. I mean, they grew the category. They basically invented the lifestyle cafes that we know today. But then the competition saw this was a successful formula and copied them. The Coffee Club, Gloria Jean's, even the independent cafes. So they really struggled against the competition.
There's at least 6,500.
All right, we've got about 30 seconds left. Get your answers in. Let's see.
Mainly from coffee sales. And on average, Australians drink around 3 or 4 cups a day.
Many people see Australians as coffee snobs, and really we are, because that's what we've become. We're spoiled rotten here. There's great coffee all the time.
Campos is one of the most successful roasters in the business.
It's the professionalism that Campos Coffee has with its baristas, with its staff. The specialty coffee industry in Australia has raised the bar so high that Starbucks coming in at such a low level, where perhaps the baristas aren't so professional and they're not as dedicated to their craft as we are.
All right. So there's 2 correct answers here. Either one would have been fine. You would still get marks for either. So one is not different to existing products because it was a very popular product already, and poor value overestimating the demand. So they kind of thought the brand Starbucks is going to be very popular, and didn't quite work out that way. Okay, so that's it for the demo class. Let me just stop sharing my screen. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have in terms of the class structure and things like that. You know, I'm sure Dan can answer some questions too. So if you have anything at all. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do that. Thank you. I'll share my screen again. Third place was Chow. Second place was Ellie. And in first place, we have Ming-Win. All right, well done. Sorry, forgot the most important part, the winners. So I will take a screenshot of this. And that way, if we need to find you guys later, we can. And I can pass that on.
I took it, no worry.
Oh, awesome. All right, so Ellie has written in the chat to say, just to clarify, I'm Ellie. That's good. And if the others can also identify themselves, that would be good. Thanks, Ellie.
Okay, so is there any questions? Is there any interesting questions? Oh, these questions are so tricky.
Oh. It wasn't supposed to be a test. It's just a demo, right? It's not, you haven't been studying with us for 6 weeks. If after 6 weeks you were getting them wrong, then maybe you and I would be having a chat about what you need to do to catch up. But in 20 minutes, it's all good. Don't worry about it. You guys are too hard on yourselves.
Furthermore, Shannon, at the end of the class, could you please choose another 2 students that you think they are wonderful and have very good questions and interact the most? Because VNTalent also have 2 gift voucher for them.
Sure. I'm happy to, I can have a chat with Daniela. We can see if we can identify 2 people.
Yes. Oh, there's one student raising her hand. Quỳnh Trần Vũ Khanh,
Yeah.
could you please?
I just want to say thank you for this demo class. Although it is just a demo class, but I've gained a lot of things about new products, about what is new product definition, and like how to or why we have to have new products. Thank you a lot.
No problem. Happy to provide that information.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in the Kahoot game, there was a question about Facebook, something, and I didn't understand that question very much. Can you explain that?
Oh yeah, sure. So that was I had a slide up as well about how companies can, I guess, have new products. And one way is they can acquire, like buy existing products, which will be new for them. So that's what Facebook does. Oculus, for example, was a VR gaming headset, and that existed. It was like a very small level when they purchased it because you couldn't get it in many places. And now you can buy it in many places. Facebook bought ownership of it. So it became a new product for them.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Vân Anh Võ. When will our next lessons? Thank you for these questions. I love this. The next lesson would be on the 18th of August, next Wednesdays, the same time.
Kathy, actually on 18, we will have 2 classes.
Yeah, 2 classes. In the morning, we are going to have the class about psychology, right? And in the afternoon, we are going to have a class about personal branding and creative superpower. So if you want to marketing yourself or want to experience more about psychology, there are 2 classes you would be interested in.
If you have any question regarding the class or the lesson, you can ask Shanal and Danielle now. Or if you have any question about Deakin College or Deakin University, we're happy to answer all the questions.
Mr. Shanal, do you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I want to ask some personal question about yourself. Do you
sure.
comfortable with this? Okay.
I'll see. I mean, I haven't heard the question yet, so we'll see.
Well, I read your profile on LinkedIn, and it say that you have traveled to Australia to further study. So I want to ask that, are there anything you need to cope with when you move to Australia?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, so I think out of all of the cities, to be honest, Melbourne's probably the best one as an international student to come to, just because there's so much diversity in Melbourne specifically. So for me, for example, I never felt homesick, because for me, the way that I would feel homesick is if I didn't have access to like food that was, from like my memory of home. So there's literally food from absolutely everywhere. So there's 2 particular suburbs in Melbourne, for example, where you go in there and there's like a copy of Ben Thanh Market, basically. There's like heaps and heaps of Vietnamese food. So I could have that anytime. And my background is also Sri Lankan. So there's a lot of Sri Lankan food, for example, if I wanted that. And there's just so many people. So you see a big mix of people, and everyone's kind of integrating really nicely together. And you see that also at university. So it's quite easy to settle into life here. But of course, you have to kind of put yourself out there a little bit. and try to make some friends. And yeah, it's not difficult actually. But you need to try a little to meet new people. That's all, and be open to meeting new people.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good question. Good question.
Another question is that can I get into Deakin College without curricular activity certificates? I think this one is for Miss Daniel, right?
For me, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. So basically, for admission to Deakin College, all we will require is your Year 11 transcript if you're looking to study foundation program, or your Year 12 transcript to move to diploma program. So just your high school certificate, and we will look at your subjects and your GPA. But there are no prerequisite subjects other than engineering. So if you wish to study engineering, you do need to study mathematics in Year 12. But for all other diploma programs, there are no prerequisite subjects. So even if you're studying lots of art subjects, you can still go study science. That's no problem. We will take you through all of the fundamentals beginning of your degree. If you're looking to apply for scholarships for Deakin College, you will be automatically awarded the online bursary. So you don't need to apply. There's no application form. There's no personal statement. You just need to commence with us in the October intake. If you are then looking to apply for scholarships when you graduate from Deakin College, that's when you can apply for scholarships at DeakinUniversity. They have many, many, many scholarships. We would be here for hours talking about them, but they have 25%, 50%, and 100% scholarships. And you can use your grades from Deakin College along with a personal statement to apply for those scholarships.
Thank you so much. Is there any other questions? Do I need SAT, IELTS, GPA, and curricular activities to apply your scholarship?
No. So even for your English proficiency, you don't necessarily need to take IELTS. IELTS is probably the biggest and most commonly known, but we also have our own English proficiency test, which is free. So you can also do that one, or you can do a TOEFL test, or if you have been studying IB or A levels, we can also look at your English score from those studies as well. So there are lots of different options, just depending on what you have previously studied in Vietnam. So VNTalent will be able to tell you what will be the easiest way to apply for the college in regards to English proficiency.
Yes. Okay. Mọi người đừng lo là trường Deakin thì hiện tại đang có rất là nhiều cái suất học bổng khác nhau, từ 25% cho đến 100%, và hiện tại thì trường Deakin cũng rất là linh động. Nếu như mà mọi người chưa có cái bằng IELTS thì cũng có thể tham gia cái bài thi của trường Deakin, nó cũng sẽ có cái sự tương đương ở trong đó. Nhưng mà đương nhiên là nếu như mà bạn nào có thể chuẩn bị được hồ sơ, có điểm cấp 3 của mình, điểm GPA càng cao, rồi bạn nào càng có được những cái SAT càng cao, rồi có càng IELTS càng cao nữa, thì các bạn sẽ càng có nhiều cơ hội để cạnh tranh đến những cái học bổng toàn phần 100%. Đó, nên là nếu như mình đặt mục tiêu vào những cái học bổng top đầu thì đương nhiên là mình phải là hồ sơ xuất sắc nhất, tại vì Việt Nam của mình rất là nhiều bạn cạnh tranh vào học bổng, và thậm chí có những bạn là GPA của mình là từ 9.0 trở lên cũng có. Đó, nên là mình phải tốt nhất để mình chuẩn bị nha mọi người. Okay, is there any other questions?
Will I have to pay a entrance fee when applying to the TC? Sorry.
Okay, I you mean that the admission fees?
Yes, like
Application fee.
yes, like other American universities.
Okay. Sorry, these questions. Could you please answer? Is there any application fee for Deakin College or Deakin University?
No, you can apply for free to both the college and the university. So VNTalent will be able to assist you in uploading your documents and completing the application form. Usually, Deakin College will respond to your application the following day. So it's not very long to wait to find out if you have an offer letter or not. Our places are not capped, so we have no maximum. So if you meet the entry requirements, then definitely you can secure a place at the college and university. But too, unless you want to share anything more.
I think your answer is great. Mọi người đừng lo là VNTalent sẽ hỗ trợ tất cả các em học sinh trong việc nộp hồ sơ sang trường. Nên là khi mà các bạn có cái học bạ rồi và có cái nguyện vọng, quan trọng nhất là có nguyện vọng đi học tại Deakin, thì là phải liên hệ VNTalent ngay, và VNTalent sẽ hỗ trợ mọi người gặp đại diện trường nè, hoặc là liên hệ với bộ phận của khoa để mà có thể tìm hiểu thêm về ngành học của mình, hoặc là tìm hiểu thêm về học bổng của trường. Do Deakin University located in a beautiful landscape?
I can answer this one if you want, Dan. Yeah, very, very beautiful. We have multiple campuses. So, for example, we have a campus in Melbourne, and so in Victoria, Victoria has multiple cities. Deakin has campuses in various of those cities or areas, I should say. The campus in Melbourne is located in a suburb called Burwood, which is about 15 to 20 minutes from the city. And you can actually kind of see the city if you're driving down the hill, which is quite nice. And for Deakin College, our college campus is also located on the university campus. So regardless of which option you choose, you'll be in the same location. We also have a campus in Melbourne's second biggest city, Geelong, which is about an hour and maybe 15 minutes from the center of Melbourne. And that's where we have our waterfront campus, so which is right by the bay near the ocean, which is really nice. And about 20 minutes away from that, we have the Warren Ponds campus. And we also have the Warrnambool campus, don't we? So quite a few different options for you to have a look at. Yeah, there are some courses that are offered specifically in some campuses, so that might be something that you want to look at as well. Because if you want to go into certain kinds of degrees, you might find that they're only offered in specific locations. So, but otherwise, yeah, many beautiful campuses, definitely.
Great. So we have lots of campus, and no worry, there's lots of landscape in Australia, and you have lots of time in order to explore it while you're studying in Australia as well. Okay. For the next questions, okay, I see Daniel answer this. Oh, my Q&A just keep going, and I cannot see it.
That's okay. I can answer some of the questions. So the average cost of living in Melbourne is between 19,000 and 22,000 per year. If your GPA score, you need to meet the requirement of 6.0. If you have studied year 12 and achieved under 6.0, you would be required to start in foundation program. But if your GPA is above 6.0, we have no problems starting you in either year 11, or foundation or diploma. The Deakin University scholarships only cover, and Deakin College as well, only cover for tuition fees. So cost of living must be paid by the student.
Yes, thank you. So Minh Tâm ơi, đối với lại trường Deakin thì nếu như mà em săn được học bổng thì học bổng hiện tại có mức giá trị cao nhất là full luôn 100% tiền học phí của mình. Tuy nhiên là cái living cost, có nghĩa là cái chi phí sinh hoạt ở bên Úc thì em sẽ phải chủ động chi trả. Okay, that's great. Oh, she replied it. Và Phạm Phương Nguyên Bách, đối với lại du học Úc của em thì nó sẽ có một số đặc thù hơn là các trường họ còn sẽ xem cái trường của bên Việt Nam mình học là trường nào nữa, nên là em có quan tâm về Deakin thì em cứ gửi cho chị xem về cái học bạ của mình cũng như là em đang học tại trường nào, tại vì Deakin sẽ không đồng loạt đánh giá tất cả các trường tại Việt Nam là như nhau nha em, mà họ có phân biệt rõ ràng là trường chuyên hoặc là trường không chuyên như thế nào đó để đảm bảo cái sự công bằng về điểm số cho các bạn luôn, nên em sẽ không phải lo nha. Can I get a part-time job when studying in DC? Okay, Daniel, please.
Yes, you certainly can. Even in, I guess, the times of COVID, and there's been quite a strong economic struggle with small businesses and cafes and things like that. Even through this, the unemployment rate in Australia is actually lower now than prior to COVID. So it means that as a country, economically, we are still doing very well. So although some businesses have closed, there has been opportunities in other areas for employment. So previously, students would work in maybe cafes or restaurants or retail. Now students may work still perhaps in restaurants, but maybe more fast food restaurants, or working for online retail, so packing goods and things like that. So definitely there are lots and lots of jobs still in Australia, but I guess that the work that was done 2 years ago has changed, obviously, with the pandemic changing. So much more, I want to say, behind the scenes work than working face-to-face with people in cafes and driving taxis and things like that.
Can international students live off campus?
You can. So you, in Australia, you do have the freedom of living wherever you like during your first year. So unlike America, where you must study, you must live on campus. In saying that, I definitely recommend that when you first come to Australia, that you live on campus. And the reason for that is that when you live on campus, you are very close to your classroom. So in terms of getting to class, you just need to walk maybe 50 meters to your classroom, or 100 meters maximum. Your on-campus fees will cover your electricity, water, gas, your furniture, your internet. So although the fee may seem slightly higher, when you factor in everything that it's included, it's the same cost as living off campus. As well as being on campus, you get to meet friends and people, and also not worry about where you're living and how you get to campus and things like that. So it allows you more freedom to focus on making friends, settling into your studies, perhaps finding a part-time job if that's what you wish to do. So it does make your transition to Australia and to your studies much better. But you do have the choice of living off campus if you do already have a friend or family living in Australia that you wish to stay with. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Mọi người ơi, đối với lại du học Úc thì mọi người sẽ được rất là linh động ha. Khi mà đi du học Úc thì các bạn có thể được làm việc bán thời gian và có thể làm rất là nhiều công việc khác nhau. Và mặc dù là Covid nhưng mà đợt vừa rồi thì cái tỷ lệ mà gọi là thất nghiệp của Úc không hề tăng cao, mà thậm chí là có thể nói là còn thấp hơn cả trước khi có Covid xảy ra nữa. Rất là lạ đúng không mọi người? Thật ra thì Úc cũng hiện đại mà, nên là chuyển sang cái việc online thì nó cũng không quá khó khăn với lại các bạn đối với lại nước Úc. Và câu hỏi, the last question, does Deakin College have a psychology major?
Yes, Deakin is very highly ranked when it comes to psychology. There are many different areas of psychology that Deakin focus on. So if you're looking to become a psychologist, You can do our Diploma of Health Science, which pathways into the Bachelor of Psychological Science. And then from there, you will do your postgrad in psychology to be able to become a psychologist. If you are looking to work in lots of different areas of psychology, which have become quite important in the last 2 years, things like organizational psychology, so working within an organization. You might want to look at counseling in a school or a particular area which requires, I guess, a different group dynamics. So you do have lots of different areas of psychology that you can move into, and you can do this through the Bachelor of Health Sciences by majoring in psychology and then picking another major in the area that you wish to work in. So for example, you might want to work in nutrition or health promotion, so promoting good health and things like that. So that's where you can work in the field of psychology, but not necessarily as a psychologist. So you do have lots of different options at Deakin, depending on what type of or what area of psychology you're looking to go into.
Yes, thank you so much. Bạn nào mà còn quan tâm đến tâm lý học thì vào ngày 18 tây tháng 8 là thứ Tư tuần sau, chúng ta sẽ có một cái lớp học về psychology, và lớp học đó sẽ được giảng dạy bởi tiến sĩ Linda, và mọi người có thể ghé fanpage của VNTalent để xem về profile của cô. Cô không chỉ là có về cái phần học thuật thôi, mà cái thực tế, thực tiễn của cô, cái kiến thức lâm sàng của cô cũng rất là tốt. Đó, nên là mọi người nhớ là sẽ tham gia vào cái lớp học tiếp theo luôn. Đường link sẽ được gửi trong email của mọi người sau lớp học ngày hôm nay nha. Rồi, mình sẽ tạm dừng các cái câu hỏi lại ở đây nha. Ok. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us today, and thank you DeakinUniversity, Deakin College, support us for this wonderful event. Thank you, Ms. Daniel, Mr. Shanal, Ms. Thu, and Ms. Zhang for your prompt support. And I hope that if any student have any questions, please feel free to email us. I will connect you with the university. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Katie. And it was so lovely to meet everyone.
It's really nice seeing all of you. Take care. Hope to see you at maybe Deakin at some stage.
Take care.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Lots of bye. 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 Bye bye mọi người còn luyến tiếc gì đây vậy? Sao mọi người không out? Bye bye hết thiệt rồi. Bye bye everyone. Stay safe. Nhớ giữ gìn sức khỏe nha mọi người. Bye bye. Bye bye everyone.